Grogan Area Commission, and I am so happy to be here today to celebrate this joyous occasion, the Columbus Community Sports Park. That sounds so good, and it sounds so awesome just to hear that. You know, I was asked a question, why did this mean so much to me? And my answer was the unity. The unity that a sports park like this will bring throughout our great city. Not just our city, but the entire Ohio and United States. With a facility like this, it will bring our youth together, our families together. It will create memories. It will create laughter. It will create sports. Sports is something that brings all of us together. Sports teaches us how to be strong. Even at our weakest points of our life, sports also teach us where we can find strength. It teaches our children to be strong when they lose at something. It teaches us as adults, as parents, to be strong when our children aren't being successful at something. And right now, the way the world is right now and how everything is going, we need something that's going to bring unity. I'm so happy that they are continuing on with this project. It's been about 2 years that I've heard about this. And I've been so excited to know that our community leaders have stepped up to do this. It's going to mean so much to our community of Milo Grogan. It's going to mean so much to the surrounding communities, Linden, Wyland Park, OSU. It's going to mean so much to everyone because our children right now, they're looking for something. Right now, we are in that crisis to where we need to have a door opening for our children to come to. A sports, community sports park like this will offer that hand that they're looking for. It will also teach them, because as we know, everyone they're not good at sports. So it will teach them how to be trainers. It will teach them how to be someone else besides just someone playing basketball, football, baseball, track and field, or soccer. It will teach them how to do other things in life. And that's what life is. We are all different. We are shaped differently. We all look differently. We were all born different. So with sports, when you're out there playing sports, we're all together. There was a time when I was running track, and I was running a 440. And we were winning, and a young man fell. One of my teammates stopped before he crossed the finish line and went back and helped him to carry him across. Today, they're best friends. Their families are best friends. That's what sports does. It helps you to understand that it's not always about winning. Succeeding in life sometimes is just encouraging someone else to get up. That's what this sports parks mean to me. That's exactly what it means to me. I thank you all for being here today. I thank you for this history, because that's what we're doing. The city of Columbus is creating history again. The wind want to take it, it can have it. And with that being said, I would like to introduce a man that I've had the pleasure of knowing, a man that I've had the pleasure of working with throughout the city of Columbus, a man that have stood up for the people of Columbus, a man that have put not the city in front of his people, but the people in front of the city to help the city to grow, to be where we are today. And that man is our mayor, Andrew Ginther. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for sharing your story. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for that kind and generous introduction. Thanks for your incredible leadership in Milo Grogan. What a great day in the city of Columbus, a day where we are here at the defending MLS champion Columbus Crew's new Ohio Health Performance Center as we celebrate the beginning of a new downtown stadium, but also a rebirth of this training facility and community sports park. Early on, and this is conversations I had with the Haslams and the Edwards, Columbus is not an either-or community. We're a both-and. We reject false choices. And we knew we were going to partner together on an incredible new, dynamic, and thriving downtown stadium for our beloved Crew. But we weren't walking away from this incredible site. Within 3 miles, 200,000 of our neighbors live. And the last thing we wanted to see was this site abandoned and those neighbors left behind. Both and. We knew this could be an incredible partnership. We also knew that our commitment to the Crew and its supporters goes beyond soccer, and it always has. It's about moving forward together in exciting and innovative ways to empower individuals, uplift communities, and become a more equitable and vibrant Columbus. The journey we started on 3 years ago was not just about a world-class downtown stadium for a world-class and defending champion, I'll say that again, soccer team. It had to include breathing new life into this historic site. And it had to benefit not just Crew fans, but all the residents of our city. The city's $50 million investment is already having an impact, particularly downtown near the Crew's new stadium, where we're installing critical infrastructure necessary for jobs and private development to flourish, including Astor Park, which will feature robust commercial and residential construction. Our commitment to a more inclusive Columbus means that affordable housing will be part of Astor Park. And I'm grateful to Development Director Mike Stevens for helping to make this happen. We are also so very proud of the historic and record participation amongst minority and women-owned businesses in the construction of the new stadium, which further ensures that these companies and the entrepreneurs behind them are included in our city's growth and excited about potential further opportunities in the ongoing operations of the stadium for minority and female-owned companies. I want to thank our Chief Diversity Officer, Demita Brown, for making the ambitious goals inherent to our city's equity agenda a reality. As we continue to complete some of the projects in the Arena District, we're turning our attention and focus toward the future of this site, where we will build a premier community sports park. Under active consideration are fields and facilities, shelters, trails, classrooms, and courts, any number of engaging and immersive amenities that will complement the Crew's Performance Center and this historic stadium. Do I need to remind you that this was the first soccer-specific constructed stadium in the United States? Something pretty special, and where the defending champions will continue to train. Plans are taking shape, and we're connecting with residents and stakeholders to determine what they think and what they want. A citizen and neighbor-driven planning process, gouging preferences and priorities that span generations, activities, and interests. We want all families from all walks of life to be able to engage, participate, and enjoy these amenities, whether you're a young person or a senior. You will hear more about our community outreach in just a few moments, but I want to acknowledge Interim Director Paul Rakowski, who's here today, for his leadership at Recreation and Parks and for helping all of us arrive at this important moment. This sports park will be engaging and accessible for as many people as possible. and we're determined to get it right. And that means listening and following the lead of our neighbors. Today, I'm happy to announce that we've committed $4 million in the upcoming capital budget to support the design and engineering of this site in the sports park. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce someone who has been involved since the earliest days of Saving the Crew with the Columbus Partnership, and now as Executive Vice President and Chief Business Officer. I got to tell you, every time I think about this effort to save the crew, I'm reminded by many of my friends in professional sports who've been at it a long, long time. I don't believe there is any other example where a commissioner of the sport and the owner of a team had decided to leave a community, where an organization, a community, came together to keep that team. And it's in part because of the vision of the Haslams, the Edwards, and the incredible leadership of Steve Lyons.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you everybody for coming and welcome. Great sports is a great unifier, and we're just proud to play a part in how we get to unify communities each and every day. It's an exciting platform to be a part of. It's an exciting city to be in the middle of, and the Columbus Crew is really Columbus's team, and how we continue to contribute to the future of our communities and neighborhood is really an honor for us. And again, I want to thank Mayor Ginther. We are excited to host you and your team here at the Ohio Health Performance Center. And to echo some of the mayor's words, it really is an exciting time for the crew, and it's an exciting time for the city of Columbus. Last week, we got to open the doors to this world-class facility to our team, and this weekend, we're here to celebrate all that has taken place at historic Crew Stadium over the past 20 years at our final home match before we open Lower.com Field in our new downtown home on July 3rd. Mayor, we can't thank you enough for all your support along the way and the vision that you helped us form to ensure the transformation of historic Crew Stadium to a site that will continue to be accessed by the community in a variety of ways. We are confident that the combination of a training facility for our defending MLS Cup championship team, a community sports park, a stadium venue that hosts festivals, concerts, and high school sporting events, and countless other events for youth throughout the community, while coexisting with the Ohio State Fair, couldn't be a better outcome for the evolution of a site that, as the mayor referenced, was the first soccer-specific stadium in our nation. This transformation and projects has always been about working in the spirit of the Columbus way. We set goals together to work in unison together on a true public-private partnership that would benefit the entire community. We're really proud of what we've accomplished at Lower.com Field and the adjacent mixed-use development at Astor Park. Our intentions have always been to create an open, accessible, engaging, and community asset that will connect and celebrate our diverse communities and neighborhoods. This is what we feel like we've accomplished downtown, and that has always been the intent for the future of this site. The mayor and his staff, his entire staff, have really supported and pushed that mindset each and every step of the way. The mayor asked us from the very beginning for historic women and minority-owned business participation numbers for the contractors working on this project, and with the assistance of Nancy Tidwell, our diversity consultant, and Demita Brown and her staff in the Office of Diversity Inclusion at the City of Columbus, we are proud to be able to have awarded over $75 million to 117 WMBE contractors on these projects. It's been a difficult year. The pandemic hit our nation, and the city of Columbus was heavily impacted by an economy that had to shut down. But thankfully, we were able to keep our workers on the stadium and facility projects safely and fully employed throughout. We were proud to have had over 700 workers between the two sites and over 1,000 working days between the two projects. Both of these projects, one has and one will soon be, completed on time. So to finish where I started, it's a good day for the crew and it's a great time for the city of Columbus. None of this would have been possible without the city's partnership, without the mayor's incredible and steadfast leadership, and without each and every member of his incredible staff. So today, as we get set to say goodbye to historic Crew Stadium as our match day home, it's fitting that I turn it over to a good friend and partner, Mike Stevens, from the city's Department of Development, who will further discuss the transformation of this site and how we will continue to partner to serve this wonderful community.
Thank you, Steve. It's great to be at the Ohio Health Performance Center and see the investment the crew has made here at historic Crew Stadium, as well as the work that's going on at lower.com field. When we saved the crew, not only did we get the experience of the crew winning the MLS Cup, but we've been able to leverage Astor Park into more than a stadium project. The Astor Park mixed-use development will include approximately 140,000 square feet of commercial space with 4 floors of office and ground floor retail. In addition, 440 residential units will be built, of which 88 apartments will be affordable to families with incomes at $84,000 and below. We are excited to see that the Arena District will become a mixed income neighborhood. Development does not happen in a vacuum. So in addition to the stadium investment and Astor Park mixed-use project, the Arena District is projected to see an additional $748 million in new investment over the next 20 years, which will result in an estimated 3,200 new jobs. One of these projects is the Chipotle headquarters at Neal and Vine that is nearing completion. We are excited to welcome them to our community. A lot has been said about the unprecedented minority participation that went into this public-private partnership, and I'm proud to introduce my colleague, Director Demita Brown, to talk a little bit more about that. Demita.
Thank you, Director. The Office of Diversity and Inclusion is committed to advancing the Mayor's equity agenda through our partnerships that uplift our local, small, minority, and women-owned business community and job seekers alike within our city. What we have been able to accomplish together with the Columbus crew is precedent setting and has made a tremendous difference in the lives of many of our local businesses. As has already been stated, our partnership has resulted in more than $75 million of diverse spend, which includes over $53 million of spend with local, minority, and women-owned businesses. That is absolutely something to celebrate. We are on pace to achieve our goal of 30% participation across these projects as we begin to transition our focus to the maintenance and operations of the beautiful new downtown stadium. These opportunities in particular contribute to the overall viability and success of this community investment and creates long-term sustainable economic impact for our local business community and our residents. While we tout many of our successes in creating business opportunities, I'd like to share just a few of our lesser-known success stories from these projects. Together with the crew, we have been able to implement a mechanical engineering internship opportunity for a local student. MWBE joint ventures were put together to partner on this project. Required OSHA training was provided to several of our small businesses at no cost, and many mentoring relationships were formed. Because of the relationships that began with the crew, many of our diverse businesses have been able to take those relationships and expand them to new opportunities across our great city. I am so excited about the partnership that we've had with the crew and will continue to have as we begin to implement these projects. I'd like to turn it over to our Department of Recreation and Parks, who has been a major supporter and partner to us as we implement these projects. Terry, I'll turn it over to you.
think I will move this down a little bit. And Mayor, I came dressed to partake in the sports park. I'm really excited. I'd like to take this opportunity to say on behalf of the Recreation and Parks Commission, thank you all for coming out today and hearing about our story, understanding that this place is just an historic site. It's kind of come full circle a little bit for me in the sense that I worked for Mayor Lashutka way back in the day when we brought in people to bring in this new facility. So I'm really excited to kind of be here and see it come full circle and come back to the community. My name is Terry Tremier. I'm the Vice President of the Recreation and Parks Commission. And as you remember, about 3 years ago, the city and the county, we all came together to join forces with many of the community leaders to keep the Columbus Crew here in Columbus. And what an extraordinary effort that was. And the result of those efforts are becoming a reality with the opening of the new downtown stadium. And while I'm looking forward to attending the opening at the Lower.com Stadium, I'm even more excited about what's going on here and what's happening here at this historic Crew Stadium and the new Columbus, and this is a mouthful, Columbus Community Sports Park. We do have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to kind of reuse this facility and to shape it in a way that our community can engage in it. It can become a crown jewel for what we know will be a facility that all will be able to participate in. The mayor earlier said that there's about 200,000 people who live within 3 miles of this new sports park. It will provide youth and adults with the opportunity to be active, to stay active like me, and participate in a wide range of either organized and activities, sports, and recreational activities. And we want the community sports park to be a hub, and that was actually a quote from our friend at Wyland Park Civic Association President Tanya Long. We want it to be a place for all ages to gather, to meet, and to enjoy. That's part of why today is really very exciting. None of the plans that we have for the facility as of yet are cast in stone. And we have ideas, but what we want to be able to do is ask the residents to tell us what they would like to see here and what would their preference be to be able to use. So there's a survey underway right now, right? And that's one of the things that we wanted to kind of highlight a little bit. We want to hear from you, and it's open for feedback and all of that until Friday, July the 2nd. We're looking forward, the department and the commission are looking forward to hearing those suggestions and ideas for the community park. And then we will be reporting out the results of those survey and what effect that they will have on what this new amenity will look like for our great city. I am looking forward in the next couple of years of cutting the ribbon for this great facility. And I'm looking forward to see people of all ages come out and enjoy whatever it holds for us. So with that, Mayor, I'd like to turn it back over to you. Thank you.
A look over at Director Rakowski. How can folks take the survey? Is there a website?
Community sports.
All right.
And we've already had about almost 600 the last
We'll
time
get you
we
the
checked.
link. All right. Flash it up on the screen. I'm not going to try to memorize that.
I should have had a sign.
We'll put it out front here. You guys super it on your stories and so forth. But Terry, thank you because you're absolutely right. We have that open until July 2nd. We want to continue to encourage people to engage and offer feedback. I want to thank Director Stevens, Director Brown, Chair Tompkins, Steve Lyons, all our friends at the Crew. It's always so encouraging to see Columbus come together to celebrate milestones and to lay the foundation for continued collaboration. We're just getting started, and we are so excited about the future of the historic Crew Stadium, the community sports park, and our new downtown stadium for our defending champion, Columbus Crew. I know that we have the passion and the commitment needed to see this process through and to deliver on a new and outstanding community treasure. We'll be happy to take your questions regarding the sports park and historic Crew Stadium. If you have questions about anything else, I'll be happy to answer them, but I'll let the rest of our folks that are here today get back to work or other things, and I'll stick around and answer those questions. You can ask me about anything under the sun. But any questions about the sports park, historic Crew Stadium? Yes, Kevin.
You mentioned $4 million that the city is spending. Is that for the entire park, or is that a portion of?
It's just for design at this point, and obviously that's not finalized because we haven't been able to thoroughly engage with the community. So, once the surveys are wrapped up and there's other community engagement that takes place, we'll put together a design plan, and that $4 million in this year's capital budget has to be approved by council. I'm proposing it, and we've set it aside for design of that. And we know that there will be more investments in that community sports park from the city in the years ahead.
Is anything off the table in terms of what the public may want? For example, a public pool or anything like that. Is there anything that's off the table, or is anything?
I don't know, Director. Is there anything in discussions with the Expo Center or anything that has been taken off the table? I think we're interested in all ideas at this point. Obviously, we'll determine the feasibility and other offerings, and obviously we're open to all ideas, but we want to make sure that we're working towards a consensus with the community about what's needed most. Like obviously, with respect to a pool, we look at other offerings nearby and whether or not that made sense as part of our larger effort here. We really want this activated for as much of the year by as many people as possible, and so that's what we're going to be keeping top of mind. Any other questions about historic Crew Stadium or the sports park? I'll stick around to do one-on-ones with reporters about anything else under the sun. Tom, do you have a question about it?
Mayor, how soon before members of the public will be able to use this, do you think? What's the timeline?
My staff will tell you I'm not a very patient person, and so I am going to be pushing to get folks in here as quickly as possible to enjoy this, but I want to get it done right. I mean, this is a legacy and a transformational opportunity for us as a city. The residents of Milo, Linden, the university area, Clintonville, they deserve the very best. And we want to make sure that we're listening to them, we're following their lead, and we're investing appropriately so they have the very best amenities right here at this community sports park. But we'll be working on it diligently.
Does the $4 million budget suggest there's going to be some type of indoor facility? Is that why so much money for planning?
I don't think it necessarily assumes anything at this point. Shelters, trails, we're open to all of those things, but we haven't ruled anything in or anything out at this point until this thorough community engagement. I'll stick around if anybody has any other questions. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Maybe go ask them. Yeah.